Right now, no. Okay. All right, so let's do this again. I was singing on the other one. Okay, I am going to share my screen with you. Let me double check what screen things I have open so I can give you. And then I will come back to you. Let's see. I think this one. I'll go back to, I need this one. Yeah, I think that's okay. This is okay. Take those off. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different things. We're going to do a live based on what I can offer administrators or schools. And then I will be giving you a quick presentation on what I can do for teachers. So bear with me and we'll start. Okay. Just keep your comments coming in the chats. If you jump in here, I cannot see them when my screen is shared. So, and once I get to the end of the video, hopefully I can have a transcript set up and I can go through and comment on your chat once I finish. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay. Entire screen. Share. Okay. All right. So Members by Marissa was created by me and some other brains out there. Well, I guess before I do this, LLC, our mission is to build a global ecosystem, commerce, hospitality, health, finance, and community development converged brand. Members by Marissa LLC exists to empower individuals and families at every stage of life by providing practical training, innovative services, and opportunities that prepare them for real-world success. So basically, Members by Marissa is an educationally based company. All right. Right now, the two activities that I have going on right now are Members Educational Consultancy and the Dating Academy, listed under Marissa's Courtship Chronicles. Okay. Basically, what you're doing, what I'm doing, what I wanted to do is like if you had, like, you know how the Army does this thing where you join the Army and you don't have any specific skill based yet, and they place you in this section to learn this part, and then they place you in another section to learn that part. And so they give you skills and then find out where you are supposed to be like most inclined to succeed. But similar to that. So once we open all the activities here, the restaurants, baking, live coaching, all of them will train new people and young people to come into the industry. And once they graduate from college in their industry, they'll be able to work for like the really big companies out there, depending on their industry standard. Okay. So basically our vision is that it's a community service of global impact, hopefully branching out education with project-based type ideas. The platform that I use for the recruitment and for schools is through Class Dojo. I sat on a conversation with them about a year and a half ago and asked them if I could use their platform to put in a fully online educational hub for international aspects. And they were very excited. So they've endorsed my project and allowed me to continue. So because I go through them, we are fully compliant with COPA, FERPA, and GDPR, and we use the latest and best security practices to protect you. So children can join, schools can join. We can do life coaching, and it's for teachers. Okay. All right. Now, this is what I've been doing too. Is I've been hosting webinars every Thursday and Friday, CST, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. or every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Central Standard is, I think, 6 hours behind UTC, like the GMT 0. So whatever your time zone is after GMT, that's the time we would have it. So for instance, okay, GMT is 6 hours ahead of me, which means like if it's 12 p.m. here, it's 6 p.m. in GMT. And if you are 4 hours ahead, it would be 10 p.m. your time. All right, so I've done that in the daytime for people, basically the daytime here, which would be really around the world, probably be easier for you if you're like, say, in Dubai. And every Thursday, Southern America, Canada, that type of thing. Okay. I do free teaching platform for teachers that want to be placed in jobs, free advice, and free partnership. Partnership in the educational place, okay? Not partnership in the company. In order to be a partner in the company, there is an investment. Okay, so after you would listen to the webinar link, which I would discuss through a presentation, you can go back to the website, or I can send you the link for the registration form. All right, so this would be the teaching aspect, and we won't go through that just now, we'll wait. And then on the other side of it, I do want to partnership with schools, okay? And, I didn't update this, but starting February 17th, I've started the webinars at the same time, but on Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. So let me refresh this to see if it was published properly, because I thought I did that. Okay. Let me just go down here to that again. Yeah. Okay. So in the new part, it does say registration form for admin is here. If you ever want to look at what MEC is, which is the Members Education Consultancy, I assist with college placement, teacher training, parent education and toddler classes, interactive CV, portfolio presentation, media branding, members for schools tutoring, school partnerships, members access, and our MEC policies and handbook. Okay, so I've also started a GoFundMe if this is something that you would like to help me build. All right, and also if you would like to contact me or make an appointment, the links are also here. If you would like to invest and become a partner in Members by Marissa, either here or internationally, I will be offering franchise opportunities, as well as there is a video here discussing what potential ROI would be if you did invest. We do have a business plan and financial strategy, which is below. Oops. Don't know if this is right or not. Let me see. Was Arabic copy. That's not what I want. Hold here, and there we are. So it has the reasons in Arabic because I started to put this together when I was in Oman. And so it is there on both sides. Okay. We're going to go back to the MEC policies and handbook. When you click on this link, it will bring you to this because I've got it loaded. I don't need to load it again. And what we're focusing on right now is the recruitment for teachers and for partnership of schools. So Members by Marissa is the parent company, okay? Members by Marissa, LLC. And the mission vision of Members by Marissa is pretty much the same across the board. Okay, these are our core values of integrity, innovation, empowerment, excellence, and sustainability legacy. Okay. And our subsidiaries of Members by Marissa LLC, the parent company, are the Members Education Consultancy, the life coaching, and the weddings kind of fall under the Dating Academy, which is something that also falls under Foundation for Families. But for our cases now, we're going to look at the consultancy. And here is my table of contents, where you'd be able to find anything here you could find by pressing this here. But for our purposes right now, we are going to look at the Global Recruitment Mobility Services. This is page 44. Okay, so the purpose is that MEC provides international teacher recruitment services to partner schools that can qualified pre-screened educators from the United States or overseas. So when I wrote this policy, I was just going to bring educators from the United States, but I realized that there are other teachers out there that I've worked with in the past that would like to go to other places as well. So we are moving it to either teachers coming to the United States or teachers going to other places. Okay, the scope of service, MEC, which is me, Members Education Consultancy, recruits, screens, and recommends candidates for teaching and leadership positions in international schools, services, or public schools here in the United States. Services include candidate sourcing, documentation, document verification, interviews, cultural readiness assessments, and presentation of qualified candidates to partner schools. So I always want to be very transparent with you, fair and professional. I will never lie to you. I will tell you how it is. I will tell you your odds based on statistics. My belief might be different, but based on statistics and odds. Okay. Candidates that are looking to teach or be like principals or administrators are never charged recruitment fees. Schools receive accurate, verified information about each candidate, and candidates receive accurate, verified information about each school. I don't engage in misleading advertising, coercive practices, or misrepresentation of school conditions. All recruitment activities comply with U.S. and host country regulations. So if you were to franchise this in your country, you would pay me my franchising fee, and then you would have to uphold these actual policies and procedures. But your host country regulations, you might be able to change the pricing or whatever you would need to do. All right. School site verification visit. To ensure accurate recruitment and long-term teacher retention, MEC conducts a school site verification visit for all new partner schools. This includes housing, community assessment, classroom observations, teacher interviews, leadership meetings, and the collection of approved media for recruitment purposes. All right, so you are a new school, a new partner, prospective, and you want me to come and do an on-site verification. So your responsibility for me is a round-trip business class if flights exceed 6 hours, accommodation for the duration of the visit, local transportation, including local airport transfers and daily travel, organized school tours, field visits to housing, community areas, facilities, access to teachers and administrators for interviews, a designated staff liaison, meals for the duration of the visit or a daily meal allowance per diem, participation in the administrator media review session, during which school leadership reviews and approves all photos and video footage prior to publication. Publication will not only be from my website, but it will also be in the Members for Schools platforms for new teachers to see, okay, and through my TikTok and social media. MEC responsibilities during the visit. So when you provide all that for me, my responsibility will be to conduct all assessments professionally and respectfully, document your housing, community, and school facilities, capture photos and video footage, interview teachers and leaderships as scheduled, prepare a school profile for recruitment purposes, ensure no media is published without school approval. Okay. All right. Yes, you approve everything before this, but this maintains and protects the school's brand and transparency with candidates. So what I will do for the partner schools is I candidate source and outreach. I email teachers. I go and I have a Reddit account. I'm going into Reddit, trying to insert myself into communities there by participating in responses. I'm going to LinkedIn. I'm posting information there on the Members for Schools. Once we get teachers and schools on board, I'll be posting and editing stuff on there. So you will be getting your brand out there. I'm basically marketing for you. And I'm not doing it for very expensive. I will also follow up with teachers to make sure that their documents are verified, apostilled, attested, what name you. If they are like a United States person that's never left the country, I will help them get ready for their cultural readiness. They won't be bombarded by a brand new culture, just like, oh my God, I'm supposed to like do this, I'm supposed to immerse myself into this culture I know nothing about. No, they will have their cultural readiness. I will put them in charge. I will put them with one of my colleagues from different schools to kind of help them understand the culture better. Okay. Relocation assessment, basically, where is it that they would like to go and why? What's the reasons? And to you, presentation of qualified candidates to the school. I will not give you a CV, which will be a general CV, until that teacher is ready to go. While he's gathering their information, they will have their own personal portfolio on my platform, which schools can gain access to, but it will not have like contact information or phone numbers or anything of the teachers. Just that you can see their video introduction, you can see all of their certificates, you can see all their experiences. You'll have access to each teacher, but that comes at a little bit of a price. So the initial CV, the paper CV about this teacher, I've already done all of their reference requests. I've already done their references. I've completely vetted them. Okay. You can have access to that vetted file for half the price you would pay for the teacher to be recruited to your school. All right. If you don't want to do that and you want to go solely based on the piece of paper, that's fine too. But once that teacher is accepted a position with you, then then you would have to pay me the full price. Okay. Coordination of school interviews. Let's say I would really like to interview teacher X. Okay, let me get with teacher X and ask them what time works for them. You give me your time. I coordinate the interview. We set it up. We get into a Google Meet or Teams Meet, and I am in the interview with that teacher in case they get nervous or in case for that moral support, emotional supports for that teacher. Maybe it's their first time ever having an international interview. That gives them that the emotional support they might need. They know someone from this side, and so it helps them. Okay. Then they get support from me for negotiation, contract negotiation, and pre-departure guidance for selected candidates. Okay, so you as a school provide accurate job descriptions and contract details. You disclose to me housing conditions, benefits, and expectations. Communicate promptly regarding candidate decisions. Notify MEC of any changes to staffing needs, and maintain ethical hiring practices. I agree to present only qualified, vetted candidates, maintain confidentiality of candidate and school information, communicate promptly with all parties, provide accurate, updated information about the school, again, approved by you, which I wouldn't get until I'm on-site verified by you, support candidates through the hiring and relocation process. Okay. So it says recruitment fees are paid by the partner school. They're not paid by the teacher. Fees are invoiced upon candidate acceptance of assigned contracts. So once you've done the interview and you sign a contract with that candidate, and that candidate comes back and says, I got the job, I signed the contract. Of course, they would do that through me, so I would know, then I would bill you. Okay. Pricing guide and fee schedules in Appendix D, which is already on my website. All fees are paid in US dollars unless otherwise agreed in writing. Okay. Of course, I provide, this is my protection and confidentiality clause and a policy review. Okay. Now that's for the teachers to understand, but also the schools. And this is about the communication and conduct documentation, the vetting confidentiality. So all teachers are hired through MEC. All right. All users added to the members for school platform under MEC's administrative account. All partner schools participating in MEC recruitment activities. So in this section, it talks about the communication protocol, and candidates may not contact schools, and schools may not contact candidates directly. You'll be able to chat with each other if you pay for that access to the chat, but you will not be able to chat with a teacher without me present. Okay, I manage the interview scheduling, distribution of meeting links or instructions, clarification of job details, post-interview communication, and contract-related questions. Candidates, these are your distinguished specification and requirements. Now, of course, some of these might be a little bit different. These would be for MEC, okay? Communicate respectfully and professionally with MEC. Follow all communication protocols. Maintain confidentiality regarding school information. You're not allowed to go tell your friend that you've got an interview with this XYZ school and that you've got all their documentation and they've got such beautiful pictures, and you're not allowed to do that because unless that candidate is also on the MEC platform. Provide accurate and truthful documentation. Provide 2 professional references. Now, schools may ask for more. 2 is usually like the universal amount, but you also probably, if the school, when I go for the on-site verification, they say, we want 4 references from schools or professional references, then that number would change. But you must also provide 1 character reference. So you would have 2 professional references and a character reference. If a recent graduate, if you are just out of college, you've done your student teaching, maybe you only have 1 year of teaching, then you should also try to get a student teacher supervisor reference and the principal of the school where you completed your student practicum or your student teaching. You will authorize MEC to contact all your references on your behalf, on the school that's looking for you's behalf. And then notify MEC of changes in availability or employment status. Provide a realistic salary expectation range, which we go through on your thing. Participate in a screening interview conducted by MEC. Professional introduction video. Submit optional teaching project documentation if available. And obtain apostilled or state-attested documents at your own expense. Okay? These are other things that if you're traveling with children, most countries, especially in the GCC, you'll have to provide dependent documentation of your children. Okay? So candidates must complete a screening interview with MEC, verification of teaching experience, assessment of communication skills, cultural readiness, and all interview responses may be shared with partner schools. Okay. All candidates must submit a professional introductional video. Okay. And this video is shared with partner schools. Now, you don't have to show the faces of children because of different laws out there. You're not allowed to do that. You can fuzz out their faces and still stick them in the video. You don't have to show them. Or you can just do project descriptions, student work samples, and this is okay. Okay. So the references, again, required for all candidates is 2 professional references and 1 character reference. That's for MEC. If the school wants more, then I would say, oh, you also have to provide X, Y, Z. Okay. A MEC contacts all references directly. May be shared with partner schools. Candidates must provide a realistic salary expectation range and a completed benefits expectations checklist. Candidates. Now, teachers. If in your country, like you're in America, and your starting salary is, say, $45,000 a year, in America, you would be taxed, right? Let's get out my calculator just for fun. Let's look at this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back here to the video where I'm doing this streaming. Okay. And we're going to hide this in a second. Let's just say you are hired here in America for $45,000. Just to say. Okay. Of that $45,000, you probably will be taxed about 27%, which includes your federal and your state, times 27%. You will lose, there we go, $12,150 of your salary each year. So let's look at this. 45,000 minus 12,000, what did we say? 500? 500. Then your actual salary will be 32,500. Okay, well, that's amazing, Miss Marissa. I can definitely live with that amount. That's so easy for me. Okay, but you're forgetting you have housing to pay for. Most apartments in America are around $1,000 now. It's expensive. It's not cheap, right? So let's say $1,200 each month. Well, that's our amount, $32,500. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's say our apartments are $1,200 each month. $1,200 plus utilities about $300 plus $300. So you're up to $1,500 per month for living expenses. $1,500 times 12. Ooh, now you're at $18,000. That's your expenses. That's with utilities, apartment, gas, heat, furniture, whatever you have to get per month. That's what it comes to about that. Phone, internet, everything you need. All right, so what was our original amount? It was $32,500. Okay. So 32,500 minus 18,000. You have 14,500 left. Well, that doesn't include all the times you're going to go out with your friends. And that does not include groceries. And that does not include hygiene. That doesn't include a car and petrol and insurance. Let's see. So if you're going to look at all those costs, you're looking at probably food. Roughly for one person is about $300 a month. You could possibly get it cheaper. It depends on how well you eat and what you eat. So let's just play around. We'll say 300 is the average. I think most people spend around 400 or 500, but we'll say 300 is the average. 300 times 12 is 3,600 minus 3,600. Okay. How much are you going to spend going out to eat? Well, I know if I get like a DoorDash, I spend for one person $25, which is like, wow, expensive. Okay. So let's say I get DoorDash twice a week. That's $50 a week. Times 4 is $200. $200 times 24 is 4,800. Okay, how much do you think you'll spend on gasoline or petroleum, car payments, and insurance? So insurance for brand new vehicles around per month, $150. Plus your, what did I say? Car payment is around $600, so that's $750. And petroleum is, they say, is about $2,000 a year. All right, so we see 750 times 12 is 9,000. You're already over because you only had 6,500 left, and this is going to cost you 9,000. So then you think, oh, geez, I didn't think about all those things. How was I supposed to know that 45,000 would barely meet my needs? You would have to get a second job. Plus, you have all your student loans that you have to pay back. So what is your option? Your option is to go overseas to work. You can work overseas for so much cheaper. Overseas will give you packages like 45,000, but you won't have to pay for housing. You don't have to pay for medical. Most schools put you in a location that's close enough to the school, so taxi is really cheap, or you can rent a car for like $600 a month. Okay, so if you imagine, you still have to do your federal taxes, which is not the 27%. It would just be federal tax, which I do believe is like 10% or something small. Okay, so let's look at these figures if you're working overseas. Let's say you get $45,000 a year. Okay, times, what would you get? I said maybe 15% is your tax. It goes in half because you're only paying federal, yeah? So 15% is 6,750. 45,000 minus 150. Now you're down to 38,250. Well, in places like Kuwait and Dubai and UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Uzbekistan. Well, Uzbekistan is a little tiny tax, but not a big thing. In other countries, is tax-free income. So you're not paying any taxes except for your federal tax back home. Okay, so you're at 30,250. Oh, gee, you get housing for free. All your utilities, or maybe they'll come to $300 a month. Okay, so that's 3,600 minus 3,600. You're down to 34,650. Get your housing paid for, utilities paid for, phone, that's included in utilities. Can't live without internet and phone. Oh, you're going to rent a car? Okay, let's say $600 a month times 5 is 5,000. Okay, 5,000. Oh, you're down to 29,650. Let's see what else you would do. Oh, go out with your friends, save, put it in a retirement plan. That's your money. You get all of that. And that's the same amount you were making in America. But how is it that you have almost $16,000 more? Remember all these expenses you have in America, you were over. You have to get a new job. Here you can pay off your student loans. Here you can pay it off. You can save. You can go on exotic vacations. You get to live in a country and learn all about their cultures and customs. You get to teach kids that really want to learn. You're not hidden by all these crazy laws that you can't give hugs and high fives. You get to become emotionally attached to children who really start to love you as their teacher. There's no scary pedophiles or anything like that in those countries. So why would you want to teach in America? I'm not saying America's a bad place to teach. You've got your family close by. You have your familiarity, your comfortable aspects of life. Those are all good things. Yeah. They're all good things. But you look at the expenses here and how much you can save here to the expenses there and how much you save there. There's no comparison. A brand new teacher will be bringing anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 a year. And depending on where you live, depending on cost of living, you might have to get another job. And you are going to be very exhausted. Because not only when you teach from 7 to 3:30 p.m., you have all those papers to grade, all those books to grade, make sure you get all the reports done and everything else. You're lucky if you get to bed at 10. And then if you have family, then you don't have a family life. Your family life's on the weekends only. Your kids have to grow up kind of by themselves. Even though you have the same holidays and you have everything else, that's a hard life. Teaching is a hard life, and we don't get paid a lot. So for me, that's why I chose a career in international education, because I knew that I could live a more respectable life there and be respected as a teacher than over here. But I'm not saying that's every school district and that's every person's experience, but that's why it's really important that you bring me for an on-site verification so I can paint that beautiful picture of your district to teachers that would like to have a job here in the United States, right? Or I'll just go back overseas and I'll hire teachers from here to go there. Yes, the life is harder in some respects because you don't get to see your family, except for maybe once a year, if you're lucky. But that's the thing. You have to decide what it is that you would like to do. But that's what I'm here for. I'm helping you decide if you prefer to get a job in the United States, or if you'd like to try your luck overseas. Now, the one thing I can tell you is it depends on the country, but most countries require you to have at least 2 years teaching experience. So that means our teachers that are graduating from university, your first idea is you probably should get experience here in the United States or in your own country for at least 2 years. America, there's some places like even Egypt, they want you to have 3 to 5 years teaching experience. So, and the reason is for that is that they know that you are going to be overseas. They know that you are not new to the international educational spectrum, and everything. But but that it's not a scary place and it's not a bad place to work here or anything. And I didn't want to like make it sound that way. I didn't want to make it sound like it's a terrible thing to live in the United States. No, I'm American. And there are so many things that you can do in education, but it's more strict. You know, overseas it's a little bit different. It's more laid back. It's a little more teacher becomes like part of the family, you know? So if you're like a teacher that's kind of maternal and like a mom to your kids, you fit better over there. If you are more of a teacher is teacher, profession, everything else, you're going to be fine in America. And it depends on the school and the school environment and the school family mentality. Is your school here in America a school where it feels like a family, or is your school here overseas more like a family? And so that's what you have to decide. So I don't want to keep going, but I will keep going for another 10 minutes. And I really wanted to touch bases on maybe we could do this next week. But there is something that I think it's important that if you want me to recruit for you, or if you're a teacher and you would like me to find you a job, please go to my website, which is Members by Marissa. Okay. Okay, it's membersbymarissa.com. Go down to Members Education Consultancy. We'll take you to this page. Go up a little bit. If you are a teacher and you would like to get a job overseas, you can come to the webinar at these times. This is CST, which Central Daylight Standard Time, whatever it's called. Okay. And this is 6 hours behind GMT, which is like UTC 0 or whatever that is. Okay, Universal Time. Okay. All right. So you can go here for teachers, and then we will have a teacher PowerPoint for you. And if you're just like, no, I'm content. I watched your YouTube and I watched what you were talking about and I'm really on board, just go to this link for registration form. So this registration form is very easy. It's not that time consuming. This is not an application. It's just to help me get who you are. Okay. This is just so that you guys know I am a legal licensed state company. All right. What is your legal name? Is there a different email? What's your educational qualifications? Where did you graduate from your teaching program? If in the USA, please provide your phone number so I can call you. Have you graduated from your teacher training program? Okay. And if you don't have a teacher training program and you just have like a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree in an area, put that there. Okay. In which place did you do your teacher practicum? You can state not applicable. Okay. If you did not do a practicum or have a teaching license but still want to teach, explain that there. Please let me know which time zone. I'm asking for your references, which I will request on behalf of you. Do you give me permission? So this is the form that tells me that you give me permission to do that. Are you okay with signing an NDA? You'll understand until I receive your NDA, you will not be admitted to the member schools platform. And thank you for your time. After you fill out this form, you'll receive a contact from me in 24 to 48 hours. If these are countries you're interested in teaching, put at least 3 that you're interested in. And if there's other countries or places that you would like to stay, then state that. How satisfied are you? And this is basically if you would like to leave any comments, or like, you know how Trustpilot has like really happy clients. If you would like to do something like that for me, I would appreciate it. Okay, and then submit. Okay, so that's the teacher registration. Once I get that form from you, I will be contacting you. Now, administrators, yours is here. We also have a webinar link. It's actually the same link, okay? But your timing is different. All right. If you've seen this YouTube and you're like, hey, I don't really need any more information. I read through her website, I read through her policies. I'd like her to come for an on-site verification. You go for your link for registration form. And it's similar, not the same, but similar. And this is about your school system. So it's a little bit more professional, I guess, or not so much teacher friendly. It's more admin friendly. Talks about grade levels, talks about curriculum, what you're looking for, and requires certifications. If you're looking for international educators or just US-based educators, what's your timeline, what qualities. This is kind of like so I can match a good teacher with your school, then I know what you're looking for. Types of benefits you offer international staff. Do you offer the same or similar benefits to domestic teachers? Do you require background checks? Are there specific documents not in my vetting procedure that you would need before interviews? So as you would get all of that information on my on-site verification, if there was anything that, like, for instance, the references, if you needed 3 references or 4 references, this is something that you would have to make sure that you let me know. Who will be the primary point of contact for recruitment at your school? How quickly can your team review vetted candidate profiles? Are you open to virtual, or would your teachers be required to visit on-site before employment is offered? Again, this might be difficult for international candidates without a job offer who are not already in the country. Do you anticipate you're changing, and would you establish an ongoing recruitment policy? And then, of course, your submitting answer. Okay. All right. At any time, if you as a school would like to know what the appendices are for my education consultancy, you can go to this section here. All right. So this is if you want to be a part of the platform without looking for teachers. This would just be if you want to be a part of the student or the international platform for your school, teacher, whatever. Okay, so student access is $60 a year. And student access, I would stick you in if you're just a student and a parent and you would maybe to get your child some free education courses or something like this by me or by other teachers. You just have to pay $60 per year. I'm sure I could explain to you what that is in your currency, but right now it's $60. Teacher access, now this teacher access is not about recruitment. This is about if you want to have your own page here where you can send your own information and take tuition and everything from your students and make money, then this is what you would be charged. And administrative access, same thing. You would have to do a notarized NDA agreement, and including so that you could get full dashboard access. Okay, but this does not mean that you can speak to candidates or recruitment. You would actually have access to that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that on there if that's what you're trying to do. Okay, institutional pricing, K through 12. This is, again, if you want your whole school on there. Learning centers are about this, and category university college is this. Okay. If you would like me to help you with curriculum and program development, that's what I charge. Okay. These are my charges for these things. This is payment information. And Appendix D was what I was talking about. So Teacher recruitment fees is $3,000 per teacher. Okay, it talks about what's there. Leadership is $7,500. Now, what I don't have here is university professor. That actually goes up because their documentation is even above my educational level, so it would cost more. Okay, you have to bring me in for an on-site verification. No and ifs, buts about it. I would be willing to, in the beginning, not do this for schools I've actually visited into the past, like in Oman. I know of some schools and everything, and so that probably wouldn't be necessary as long as you could give me someone that would be able to go and take the photos of everything that you can give me to put on the website and everything. Okay. But if your school has changed since I've been with you, then this is something we might have to consider. All right. These are things delivered by me. Now, if you want, it says these are all optional add-on services. In the beginning, I'm not charging you. The only thing you have to pay is that $3,000 per teacher. Now, if you want access to the teacher's file in the platform, you'd have to pay me $1,500 first. And then you have full access to that teacher's information. Once you hire the teacher, then you pay me the other half. If you're happy with just the complimentary CV, basic summary of the teacher, that I don't charge for. Okay. This talks about the payment timeline, method of payment, and this is annual review. And then this is for teachers. This is what's required of you. And the family box. This is all part of the MEC policies, but this is just in this appendix, which might help you understand everything in more direct situations. Okay. All right. Let me come back to you here. So if there's any information that you would like to have from me, this is my website. You are more than welcome to see me there. The time is almost an hour. I'm not going more than that tonight. Tomorrow I will be back here on live to discuss the same or similar situations. We might do one of the PowerPoints that I have scheduled for teachers. And then the next night we would do the one for administrators. You have all of your policies at your fingertips now. I'm not going to go through it again unless you would like to join me for the webinar. So the webinar would give you an opportunity to ask questions that you might have that are a little bit unclear to you. I want to be transparent with you and be able to give you information that is clear, organized, and understandable. Okay? All right. So that's it for tonight. I wish you all good night. The webinar for administrators is finished this week. Tomorrow will be for teachers. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it will be at Thursday right at 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. And we probably will try to keep it under an hour. If you wanted to ask me other questions, I would send you another link at 1 o'clock on here so that you are on the Google Meet so that you could come to me and ask me questions, if you wanted a question answer. So we would do the presentation in the first hour. And if we finish it early, then you would get a chance to ask me questions by giving you another link. Okay. And then for those of you that want to come in the evening, this will be the same exact thing where you can either come in and ask questions or or listen to the presentation. Okay, but those will be on Google Meet so that you can have a voice and you can talk to me. Because you can do the chat and write in the chat, but maybe it's easier for you to verbalize what you're wanting instead of chatting. And that's the way it is for me. So if I can verbalize what I need or questions that I have, maybe it's easier for you because maybe your language isn't perfect or there's other reasons that you're just more comfortable speaking instead of writing or chatting, and that's fine too. So all right, okay everybody, it's been great talking to you. I saw that some of you popped in there for a little bit. I'd be happy to answer any more questions that you have, and thank you for all your support over the years, and I hope to see you again.